Khan, James Windswift.
Mabuhay! Long life unto Octavianus, Crown Prince and Lion of Ontir. Mabuhay! Long life unto Luciano and Tessina, Principa and Principessa of the Summits. Mabuhay! Long life unto the noble baronial coronets of the Summits. I, James Windswift, Umaloha Khan for Timur Bato, pray that you hear my words this day as I tell you the story of how Bato saved the moon. Far from across the sea, Bato and his family came to the place of this great land of the Summits. And there they made their home. Bato grew, and soon he was a man, and then a husband, and then a father. Bato and his household flourished, and Bato was well respected and loved amongst the people. Then there came the evening that the moon seemed pale, and her shimmer seemed less brilliant. The people shifted from side to side, feeling the oddity in the night, but they could not place the unease. And so they shook their heads at their silliness and retired for the evening with a shiver. Bato felt that shiver like a pin piercing his spine. A jolt of lightning cascaded through his body. He stiffened and closed his eyes, slowly taking in a shallow breath. His eyes fluttered, and Bato surveyed the area around him suspiciously. Though he tingled with wariness, he could see no imminent danger. His shoulders dropped, and he too shook his head and wandered off to bed as he murmured about growing more like his mother every day. You see, though Bato knew all was not right, he had been long from his ancestors, and their ways were faded in his mind. The next day dawned crisp and bright, and the people went along with their business, though they seemed to smile a little less. And by evening time, most seemed to have set aside the unease from the previous night. But as the moon began to peek her way out from behind the clouds, no one could deny that something was terribly wrong. Something had taken a bite out of the moon. High above them in the sky she sat, but a crescent of her silvery body was gone. The people began to cry and whisper amongst themselves. But as Bato squinted up at the moon, a memory tickled his mind, and suddenly he saw the truth. There, half hidden between the stars and the blackness, he could see him. The great sea serpent Bakanawa sat sheltered in darkness, nibbling at the moon in secret. "No," cried Bato, "we are not cursed. It is sneaky old Bakunawa. He is swallowing the moon. Come, my friends, quickly. Let us hold a tournament and hope the clang of our swords might befuddle him." So Bato and his brothers and sisters battled, and their swords thundered mercilessly against each other. The fighters' numbers dwindled, and soon only two stood across the field from each other, Bato and Anton. Both men looked to the heavens. They were winning. Bakunawa had begun to spit the moon back out. Bato and Anton bowed, and with a cry, they both swung their sword. Bato knew that this fight would be the last. Both he and Anton had fought as only heroes can, but even heroes cannot stand forever. And so they fought, each blow rattling the ground beneath them, and with every cacophony a glimmer grew along the moon's dark border. As each man tired, Bato looked to Emma for inspiration. Seeing her love's gaze upon her, Emma remembered the stories and knew what she must do. Picking up a heavy ladle and a bowl, she began to beat them together. Bato's children saw and remembered, and they began to sing and chant the ancient songs. The people took up the chant, and everyone cried, "Give us back the moon! Give us back the moon! Give us back the moon!" Glowing with light of inspiration, Bato raised his sword, and his opponent fell. Bato glared up into the sky and raised his sword and shield again, before bringing them together into a thunderous bang. As he howled defiantly into the old snake's face, he yelled, "Give us back the moon!" Bakunawa blinked rapidly and reared back as a single drop of blood ran from his ear and dropped to the sand below. Bacchanal huffed, spraying the people with water before diving back into the sea. The people looked to Bato, and they cheered! Bato's brothers and sisters rushed him, holding him up on their shoulders as they paraded him through the village. He brings now a portion of spoils of his rage to share with the people and pay homage to the king and princes of this land so that they may know he is a man of peace as well as a man of war.
Age to age and season to season, by law and custom, the time has come for the Alpine coronets of the summits to pass on their rule to their successors, their claim proven in battle. Summits, stand in witness of the investiture of your next prince and princess. On the 26th day of March, Annus Societatis 56, the Principality of the Summits did hold a coronet tournament in the barony of Terra Pomeria to determine who would succeed to the coronets and thrones of the summits. Timawa Bato was the victor on the field that day, and he is present in court today to press his claim.
Bato, you have brought back the moon so that we can once again see its reflection in the crystalline waters of the Grail. You have protected the Silver Griffin from the darkness of Bakawana. For this, we grant you an audience. Why have you come into our court?
I have come to claim what is mine by right of arms and combat, and the traditions of this land.
Do you make this claim only for yourself?
A man may not defeat Bacchanal and save the moon by strength alone.
It is through my lady's
It is
love.
through my lady's love and light that I have succeeded.
So I
I make this claim on behalf of my lady love and inspiration, Emma von Bern.
Mabuhay! Long life unto our beautiful gathered royalty and assembled nobles. I, Jimena, Umalahokan for Emma von Bern, proclaim the virtues of integrity, joyfulness, justice, kindness, love, loyalty, caring, commitment, compassion, service, courage, courtesy, humility. All these and more describe what we all hope for in those that would sit upon the Alpine throne as princess of the summits. These virtues are all personified in the character of Emma von Bern. She is a daughter of Antir, of the summits, birthed in the groves of Briar Oak, and educated in the manners and courtesy of court at the feet of baronesses, princesses, and queens. She has provided service to the crown and principality, barony, and populace. She has a heart that loves all, including Bato, and a never-ending source of joy and optimism. She is a mistress of the Order of the Pelican, a baroness of the court of Antir, and she is the sunshine that inspires Timoa Bato in all things.
Then let her join you here. We hear your claims.
Do our officers attest that these claims are made?
Do our officers attest that these claims are made within the laws and customs of the Principality?
Seamus O'Cayley, Seneschal of the Summits, and Gwyneth Blackthorn, Keeper of the Lists, come before their highnesses and testify.
Your Highnesses, upon my oath and duty of my office, I affirm that these two gentles are in good standing in our society and the law is satisfied to their claim.
Your Highnesses, upon my oath and the duty of my office, I also affirm that their victory in the coronet lists was achieved within the rules of the lists, and the law is satisfied as to their claim.
Prince, this is well.
This is well. Who here would second these claims?
I, Waylon Middleton, defender of the summits, witness and proclaim Bato's right to this claim. Does anyone here challenge Bato's claim to the summits, to extend the throne of the summits?
And I, Taryn Destinger, champion of arts and sciences of the Principality of Summits, also affirm and attest Emma's right to the throne of the Summits. Does anyone here challenge her claim?
And I, Owen Doyle, Captain of Cats, attest to Emma's claim. She is a beautiful woman to a very honorable man. Please, challenge me. I'll run you through.
I am William Jeffrey, the Rogue, Captain of Tigers, cut and thrust champion of this Principality. I attest and affirm the validity of the claim of Emma von Bern to take this Principality and rule it. I drop my gauge here. Let those stupid enough to challenge such a thing step forward and die.
I, John Wayland, Summits Hunter, affirm the right of Bato to succeed the coronets. Anybody wants to challenge me about it, I'm here.
We drink to Bato and Emma, the next prince and princess of the summits.
We have heard your claims. They are well made and properly in accordance with the laws and customs of the summits, and well proclaimed and seconded by the champions of the summits. Therefore, to you we will surrender our coronets, thrones, and titles. Defender of the summits, champions of the summits, we call upon you to watch over and witness our heirs rightfully invested with the coronets of the summits. Upon the day of the tournament, you gave to us your oath that you would assume the station in accordance with the laws of the summits. It is with this oath in our hearts and with these witnesses present that we do give over to you the care of our coronets.
We've seen you here acknowledge true heirs to the Griffin coronet.
We see you here
Acknowledge true heirs.
acknowledge true heirs to the Griffin coronet.
We find your claim is just and lawful.
We find your claim is just and lawful.
Do you have any obligations you need to discharge?
Do you have any obligations you need to discharge? Sweet.
Okay. Next.
Do you, Bato and Emma, now swear fealty to Sven and Rithkin, your undoubted king and queen, that you will obey their lawful commands in all matters that concern this realm, and mindful that the honor of the realm and of the principality which you claim springs from your own deeds, do you swear that you will treat chivalrously and courteously with those of every degree, as long as their majesties remain sovereigns of Antir?
We so swear.
We so swear. And will you, at your earliest opportunity, present yourself and kneel before their majesties, the king and queen of Antir, and again swear your fealty unto them, and do homage for the lands of the principality, that their majesties might return fealty unto you?
We will.
Swear now an oath to your new populace. Bring forth the Grail of the Summits.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We hold it.
Yeah, I can hold it.
Bato, you start. Know that in us, the blood of the griffin runs true.
Know that in us the blood of the griffin runs true.
By its sign and upon its grail we give our oath.
By its sign and upon this grail we give our oath.
Bato, to serve and protect the people of the summits to the utmost of our power.
to serve and to protect the people of the summits to the utmost of our power.
At their hearths, in their crafts, and against all their foes.
At their hearths, in their crafts, and against all their foes.
We shall be their true guardians.
We shall be their true guardians.
Bato, we will meet justice tempered with mercy to all.
We will meet justice with mercy, tempered with mercy to all.
Be they child or youth,
Be they child or youth,
man or woman,
man or woman,
high or low.
high or low.
This we swear for so long as we rule the summits.
This we swear for as long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So swear I.
You first.
So swear we, Bato.
So say we, Emma.
And turn back around to you. Okay. Prince, we charge you rule this land from your head with glory and wisdom.
We charge you to rule this land with your head, with glory and wisdom.
Princess, we charge you rule this land from your heart with compassion and love for your people.
We charge you to rule this land with compassion and love from your people, from your heart. I did that out of order.
I charge you to rule this land with your arm, with strength and honor.
I charge you rule this land with your hands to teach with skill and craft.
I charge you to rule this land with your hands, with strength and craft.
Take the circlets and raise the glass.
I'll get them.
Behold the coronets by which all may know you as rulers of this, the Principality of the Summits. Let them be a symbol to you. As their weight rests upon your brow, so do the hopes and aspirations of the populace rest upon your hearts. Receive this burden with a sure and mighty resolve.
Luciano, do invest you, Bato.
I, Luciano, do invest you, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
With the right to wear this coronet.
With the right to wear this coronet.
And to pass it on to your successors.
And to pass it on to your successors.
Receive it now, and with it.
Receive it now, and with it.
The Principality of the Summits.
The Principality of the Summits.
To care for and rule from this day forth.
To care for and rule from this day forth.
You give it to him. Yes. I, Ticina, do now grant this coronet unto you, Bato.
I, Ticina, do now grant this coronet unto you, Bato.
Datu of the Summits.
Datu of the Summits.
So that you may crown your inspiration.
So that you may crown your inspiration.
Emma, receive the coronet and the throne.
Emma, receive this coronet and the throne.
One for you by our hand.
One for you by our hand.
To hold and to pass on to our successors.
To hold and to pass on to our successors.
From this day forth, you must watch over and rule our Principality of the Summits.
From this day forth, you must watch over and rule our Principality of the Summits.
Can you crown her?
Get your veil. There you go.
And then stand and face your populace.
Summits, behold, Bato, your undoubted Datu, and Emma, your undoubted Dayang. Long live Datu Bato!
Long live Datu Bato!
Long live Dayang Emma!
Long live Dayang Emma!
The populace has their highnesses leave to be comfortable.
And then you two will kneel.
Oh yeah.
Report the girl.
By this pledge, I affirm.
By this pledge, I affirm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Bato and Emma
That Bato and Emma
Are rightful Datu and Dayang of
are
the Summits.
rightful Datu and Dayang of the Summits.
Faith and truth will I bear to them.
Faith and truth will I bear to them.
In all that may concern this realm.
In all that may concern this realm.
So long as they rule the summits.
So long as they rule the summits,
The waters of the Grail run clear.
the waters of the Grail run clear,
The silver griffin flies free.
and the silver griffin flies free. So say I, Luciano.
So say I, Ticina.
Gladly we hear you, and in return,
Gladly we hear you, and in return,
we pledge to you and your households our advocacy.
we pledge to you and your households our advocacy.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits,
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we.
so say we, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the Summits.
If you have something deep and moving about leading well.
Oh, do we have to say to other
Thank you.
Good luck. Have fun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for what you guys have done after the coming out of the lockdown.
You did
You guys
it.
did an amazing job. Thank you so much. And good job.
We are here to help. Or not help. I don't know. I can just make weird noises in the back of the court.
It works for me too.
3 cheers for Viscount Luciano and her ladyship Tessina. Hip hip!
Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
Mistress Anna Elizabeth von Engelberg, come before their highnesses, bearing with you the Grail of the Summits.
No,
You, of
please,
course.
please.
And repeat after me. Accept now this, the Grail of the Summits.
Accept now this, the Grail of the Summits,
Brimming with water from the Lake of the Grail.
brimming with water from the Lake of the Grail,
Remembering your promise to nurture the well-being of the Principality.
remembering your promise to nurture the well-being of the Principality,
To restore the decayed and to maintain that which is restored. To
to restore the decayed and to maintain that which is restored,
that the Principality may flourish and prosper,
that the Principality may flourish and prosper,
and the people be always first in your heart.
and people be always first in your hearts.
Right hand in the grill. We drink now to the people of the summits,
We drink now to the people of the summits,
without whom there would be no Principality to rule.
Without whom there would be no principality to rule.
Raise the grail. Bato, the grail is all that we are,
The Grail is all that we are.
for it takes an artisan to craft it.
For it takes an artisan to craft it,
Bato, a warrior to
A
defend
warrior to defend it.
it, a faithful servant to bear it,
a faithful servant to bear it,
both of you, and a noble to drink from it.
and a noble to drink from it.
Where did Anna go? She left? Okay.
Oh, she's-
With this, the cupbearer's duties are complete. She gives now into their keeping the Grail of the Summits, so that you may name someone of your choosing to bear it during your reign. We thank you, Mistress Anna, for your service. The cupbearer is a position, not only a faithful servant,
The cupbearer is a position not only of a faithful servant,
but of advisor and counsel.
but of advisor and counsel.
We would have Graf Barrick von Longenthal
We have the honor to have Graf Barrick von Longenthal
take up this grail for the duration of our reign.
take up this grail for the duration of our reign.
Graf Barrick, please come forward. Whatever words you would like to share.
My dear friend and former foster knight, you have always led me well and advised me true. I entrust this to you as our advisor and Grail Bearer brother. Thank you for honoring us with your service.
Your Highnesses, thank you very much for this honor. I shall bear the Grail with respect and dignity it has earned over the years, and for the respect and dignity it will gain over the years under your reign. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take my place behind the throne.
Thank you.
And you will be coming up several times, so stay nearby. Will Waylon Middleton, defender of the summits, come now armed with the summit sword of state before the Alpine throne? Waylon, repeat after me. I would pledge my sword in service to your highnesses and summits if you would have me.
I would pledge my service to the highnesses of the summits if you would have me.
Both of you, we find you and this weapon fit and worthy.
We find both you and this weapon fit and worthy,
And we accept your service.
and we accept your service.
Bring forth the Grail of the Summits.
Bring forth the Grail of the Summits.
I did need it.
Just gonna put it together.
Well, here do I swear by mouth and hand,
Here do I swear by mouth and hand,
my fealty and true service,
my fealty and true service.
Faith and truth will I bear to you.
Faith and truth will I bear to you.
In all that may concern this realm.
In all that may concern this realm.
My shield before you in battle.
My shield before you in battle.
So long as you rule the summits.
So long as you rule the summits.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
And the silver griffin flies free.
And the silver griffin flies free.
So say I.
So say I, Waylon Middleton.
For both of you, this oath do we hear and for our part.
This oath do we hear, and for our part,
We pledge to you and your household our protection.
we pledge to you and your household our protection.
We will watch over and shelter you.
We will watch over and shelter you.
We will place ourselves between you and all your foes.
We will place ourselves between you and all our foes.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits,
The high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
and the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
Take your sword from our hands and take your place at our side.
Take your sword from our hands and our place at our side.
Champions of the summits, present yourselves before their highnesses. Champions, repeat after me. We would pledge our skills and service as your champions if you would have it.
We would pledge our skills in service in your service if you would have it.
We find your arts, your blades, fit and worthy and accept your service.
We find your arts and your blades fit and worthy
of our service.
Bring forth the grail of the summits. Sorry, that's for you.
No.
You're doing great. Champions, here do I swear by mouth and hand.
Here do I swear by mouth and hand.
My fealty and true service.
My fealty and true service.
Faith and true service will I bear to you.
Faith and true service will I bear to you.
In all that may concern this realm.
In all that may concern this realm.
A&S, enriching your realm in the skills of mind and hand.
Enriching your realm in the skills of mind and hand.
Eagles, keeping all those that would harm you at arrow's length. Cats, parrying all attacks upon you.
Parrying all attacks upon you.
No outrider, no garlic tigers, repelling those who would attack you.
Repelling those who would attack you.
Hunter, enriching the bounty of your lands.
Enriching the bounty of your lands.
And all champions, so long as you rule the summits.
So long as you rule the summits.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
And the silver griffin flies free.
And the silver griffin flies free.
So say I.
So say I, John William Jeffrey.
This oath do we hear and for our part.
This oath do we hear and for our part.
We pledge to you and your household our protection.
We pledge to you and your household our protection.
We will watch over and shelter you.
We will watch over and shelter you.
We will place ourselves between you and all your foes.
We will place ourselves between you and all your foes.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
Take your crafts from our hands and your place at our side.
Take your craft,
Crafts from our
hands and your place by our side.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Their highnesses call before them all the order of the chivalry. Let the knights, the flower of the martial arts, come forward with their swords girded on. Gathered together with those masters at arms that wish to swear fealty, come forward. Do you now swear fealty? Oh, sorry, still coming. Still coming. Do you now swear fealty as a knight of Ontir and of the summits, to obey all lawful commands and all that may concern each realm, to only bear faith and truth to both crown and coronet, being ever mindful that the honor of Ontir, of the summits, and of the order to which you belong springs from your own deeds? Do you swear to treat chivalrously and courteously those of every degree? For so long as their highnesses rule the summits, remain in fealty to the crown of Ontir, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free.
I so swear.
We hear your words, and for our part.
We hear your words, and for our part.
We pledge to you and those of your household our fealty and aid.
We pledge to you and your household our fealty and our aid.
To support you and your service to Ontir.
To support you and our service to Ontir.
The summits and the order to which you belong.
The summits and to the order to which you belong.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To
Protect and defend you and your households.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Ontir or of the summits.
Be they foes of Ontir or the summits.
For one makes themselves the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
Thank you, Knights.
Thank you, brothers.
Thank you.
Their Highnesses call before them the companions of the Order of the Laurel, the teachers of our artisans. Come forward.
You're staying here. He'll be here a while. I mean, you're here the rest of the duration.
No, there's not. I'm on duty.
Oh yeah, you're not. You'll get up. You'll break. Stretch your leg. Overachiever. Dane, I'll help you later too if you need.
We should have reordered them for you.
Do you now swear fealty as a companion of the Laurel of Ontir and of the Summits, to obey all lawful commands and all that may concern each realm, to only bear faith and truth to both crown and coronet, being ever mindful that the honor of Ontir, of the Summits, and of the order to which you belong springs from your own deeds? Do you swear to treat chivalrously and courteously those of every degree, so long as their Highnesses rule the Summits, remain in fealty to the crown of Ontir, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free?
I so swear.
We hear your words, and for our part,
We hear your words, and for our part,
we pledge to you and those of your household our fealty and aid.
we pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
To support you and your service to Ontir.
To support you and your service to Ontir.
The Summits and the order to which you belong.
The summits in the order to which you belong.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Ontir or of the Summits.
Be they foes of Ontir or the summits.
For one makes themselves the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
Thank you, Lord. Your excuse.
So say I, Roland Buffer.
Their Highnesses call before them the companions of the Pelican, the tireless servants of the realm. Come forward. Or hang out, you know. Whichever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
Yes. Good thing you're getting that shoulder down. The ruck one.
Barrick's already going, why did I?
Do you now swear fealty as a companion of the Pelican of Ontir and of the Summits, to obey all lawful commands and all that may concern this realm, to only bear faith and truth to both crown and coronet, being ever mindful that the honor of Ontir, of the Summits, and of the order to which you belong springs from your own deeds? Do you swear to treat chivalrously and courteously those of every degree, for so long as their Highnesses rule the Summits, remain in fealty to the crown of Ontir, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free?
I so swear.
We hear your words, and for our part,
We hear your words, and for our part,
we pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
we pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
To support you and your service to Ontir.
To support you and your service to Ontir.
The Summits and the order to which you belong.
The summits and the order to which you belong.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Ontir or of the Summits.
Be they foes of Ontir or the summits.
For one makes himself the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
Their Highnesses call before them the Masters of Defense, students of historical fighting techniques. Come forth. Do you now swear fealty as a Master of Defense of Ontir and of the Summits, to obey all lawful commands in all that may concern each realm, to only bear faith and truth to both crown and coronet, being ever mindful that the honor of Antir, of the summits, and of the order to which you belong springs from your own deeds? Do you swear to treat chivalrously and courteously those of every degree, so long as their highnesses rule the summits, remain in fealty to the crown of Antir, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free?
I so swear.
We hear your words and for our part.
We hear your words and for our part.
We pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
We pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
To support you and your service to Antir.
To support you and your service to Antir.
The summits and to the order which you belong.
The summits and the order to which you belong.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Antir or of the summits.
Be they foes of Antir or the summits.
For one makes themselves the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say I.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the Summits.
Thank you.
That's gotta be hard. Thank you. Their Highnesses, call before them the royal peers who have in their time received the oaths of the people. Come forward. You want to get back in the center? Do you now swear fealty as a royal peer of Antir and of the summits, to obey all lawful commands in all that may concern each realm, to only bear faith and truth to both crown and coronet, being ever mindful that the honor of Antir, of the summits, and you as a royal peer belong, springs from your own deeds? Do you swear to treat chivalrously and courteously those of every degree, so long as their highnesses rule the summits, remain in fealty to the crown of Antir, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free?
I so swear.
We hear your words and for our part.
We hear your words and for our part.
We pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
We pledge to you and your household our fealty and aid.
To support you and your service to Antir.
To support you and your service to Antir.
The summits and to you as a royal peer.
The summits and to you as a royal peer.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To protect and defend you and your households.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Antir or of the summits.
Be they foes of Antir or the summits.
For one makes themselves the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the Summits.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Their Highnesses call forth their Excellencies Adiantum, Terra Pomeria, and Glendufen.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I want you to know I didn't pick up any of the gloves. I thought about it. I was entertaining off to the side.
Here do I swear by mouth and hand.
Here do I swear by mouth and hand.
Fealty for our barony of Fillenwood.
Fealty for our barony of Adiantum.
Thank you for not saying it.
I was really tempted.
Good job. You did it. Service and truth will I bear.
Service and truth will I bear.
Upholding both crown and coronet.
Upholding both crown and coronet.
To obey all lawful commands.
To obey all lawful commands.
And all that may concern each realm.
And all that may concern each realm.
And being mindful that the harmony of my barony.
And being mindful that the harmony of my barony.
And the honor of both kingdom and principality.
And the honor of both kingdom and principality.
Spring from my own deeds.
Spring from my own deeds.
My own deeds.
Will deal courteously with those of every degree.
Will deal courteously with those of every degree.
So long as their highnesses rule the summits.
So long as their highnesses rule the summits.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
And the silver griffin flies
And the silver griffin flies
free.
free.
So say I.
And
You're that one now. This oath do we hear and for our part.
And this oath do we hear and for our part.
We pledge to you and your barony our fealty and aid.
We pledge to you and our barony our fealty and aid.
Barony.
Barony.
To support you in your service to Ontier.
To support you in your service to Ontier.
The summits and to your barony.
The summits and to your barony.
To protect and defend you and the people of your barony.
To protect and defend you and the people of your barony.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
To place ourselves between you and your foes.
Be they foes of Ontier or of the summits.
Be they foes of Ontier or the summits.
For one makes himself the other.
For one makes themselves the other.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits.
You may retire.
I'm going to apologize in advance to the populace of the summits because this one is my actual cousin and we might get a little feisty up here, so I just apologize in advance.
She was putting words in my
I am older. I am older by 5 years. 5 years, everyone, 5 years.
That just makes it more fun.
Oh, let's change the subject and have the officers.
You have a good herald.
The officers of the summit and their deputies come before their highnesses. You can even make 20 pages of fancy.
Take it.
Here do I swear by mouth and hand.
My true service in the administration of my office.
My true service in the administration of my office.
Honest counsel will I bear to you.
Honest counsel will I bear to you.
In all that may concern this realm.
In all that may concern this realm.
For so long as you rule the summits.
For so long as you rule the summits.
The waters of the Grail run clear. And the silver griffin flies free. So say I.
Like a Zarka.
This oath do we hear and for our part.
We pledge to you and your deputies.
We pledge to you and your deputies.
Our assistance, guidance, and advocacy.
Our assistance, guidance, and advocacy.
We will support you in your service to the Principality and your office.
We will support you to the Principality and to your office.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the Grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the Grail up to the sky.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the summits.
You're doing a selfie.
Come on, everybody squeeze it.
Get it, get it. So say we, Emma, Dayang.
I just want everyone out of the way.
Their Highnesses now call upon those of the retinue who wish to pledge their fealty, not service, that's later, fealty to the coronet of the summit.
I mean, that's better than making it to your chair.
Come on. Okay, now you gotta make sure to get a C on this one too.
Somebody's got to touch that green chain.
Somebody touch it.
Somebody touch the ground.
Come on.
Retinue, please repeat after me. By this pledge, I affirm.
By this pledge, I affirm.
That Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
That Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
Fealty and truth will I bear to them.
Fealty and truth will I bear to them.
In all that may concern this realm.
In all that may concern this realm.
For so long as they rule the summits.
For so long as they rule the summits.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
The waters of the Grail run clear.
And the silver griffin flies free.
And the silver griffin flies free.
Got a front row there.
Fantastic.
Gladly we hear you and in return.
Gladly we hear you and in return.
We pledge to you and your households our advocacy.
We pledge to you and your household our advocacy.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
For so long as you rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the Grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the Grail up to the sky.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the summits.
So say we, Emma, Dayang of the summits. And we're gonna have a whole lot of fun.
Squeeze
Okay?
it, guys.
You gotta get in there. Come on.
You're gonna have to raise it up.
You got it?
Yeah, I think so.
Their Highnesses now call upon those of the retinue who wish to pledge their support and service to the Coronet of the Summits. Fealty? If anybody wants to do service instead, you pick one.
Yeah, you're good.
Anyone pledging service in the retinue? No.
Yeah, I know.
Go for it.
By this pledge, I affirm
that Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
that Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
Faithful and true service will I bear to them.
Faithful and true service will I bear to them
In all that may concern this realm.
in all that may concern this realm.
So long as they rule the summits.
So long as they rule the summits. Waters of the Grail run clear. And the silver griffin flies through. So say I. Tear.
Gladly we hear you, and in return, we pledge to you and your household our advocacy. We will speak for you and yours. We will represent you in this and all other realms for so long as we rule the summits and the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we, Bato, Datu.
So say we, Emma, Dayang, and Summits. Thank you.
Their Highnesses now call upon those of the populace who wish to pledge their support and fealty to the Coronet of the Summits.
Are we at a wedding?
I'm just so glad you're here.
This is for kneeling.
Yeah.
Wait, what's this fealty thing going on for people in my household?
Please repeat after me. By this pledge, I affirm.
By this pledge, I affirm
That Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
that Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits.
Fealty and truth will I bear to them.
Fealty and truth will I bear to them
In all that may concern this realm.
in all that may concern this realm.
For so long as they rule the summits.
For so long as they rule the summits,
The waters of the Grail run clear.
the waters of the Grail run clear,
And the silver griffin flies free.
and the silver griffin flies free.
So say I.
So say I.
Gladly we hear you, and in return.
Gladly we hear you, and in return,
We pledge to you and your households our advocacy.
we pledge to you and your household our advocacy.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will speak for you and yours.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
So say we, Emma, the Yang of the Summits.
Thank you. You may return.
Their Highnesses now call upon those of the populace who wish to pledge their support and service to the Coronet of the Summits.
Don't put your hand on that, Reverend.
By this pledge, I affirm
That Bato and Emma are rightful
that Bato and Emma are rightful prince and princess of the summits. Faithful and true service will I bear to them in all that may concern this realm. For so long as they rule the summits, the waters of the Grail run clear, and the silver griffin flies free. So say I, Elisabetta Tomaso di Carducci.
Gladly we hear you, and in return, we pledge to you and your households our advocacy. We will speak for you and yours.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
We will represent you in this and all other realms.
For so long as we rule the summits.
For so long as we rule the summits.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
And the high mountains hold the grail up to the sky.
So say we, Bato, Datu of the Summits.
So say we, Emma, the Yang of the summits.
Summits, we have here witnessed the investiture of Bato and Emma, Datu and Dayang of the Summits, and the vows of fealty and service which bind them to the people of their principalities.